Brian, you're back.
Back for episode 2, man.
Episode 2 of episode 29. This is the 29th.
It's a lot of episodes, man.
29th.
How long have we been doing this now?
A year and something.
It ain't been that long.
Yeah.
Not consecutively.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we did start when it was like cold as hell out in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
remember
it's
that.
it's almost springtime.
You kept telling me as long as we do like 20 podcasts and we're going to blow up.
Yeah. Well, we're in Indonesia and there's some other countries.
They're probably using
the other
us to
side.
learn English.
Yeah, on the other side of the world that they're tapping in.
I think they're viewing it for another reason.
Yeah, they're like, oh, the two bald-headed guys. Oh, yeah.
Like, you never know, man. You never know.
Are those girly men? I don't know. I didn't see anything from Bangkok. I
No,
didn't see-
nothing from Thailand?
No, it was like
That'd be cool.
yeah.
What about if we got some views from like Antarctica?
Oh shit! What if we got like 1 million views from Antarctica
There's not that many people
and
there.
there's like a beach and you're like, hey bro, where's that beach at? It's like it's over the Antarctic wall.
Oh, the ice wall.
Yeah, the ice wall. You have to go past the
Dude,
ice wall.
okay, that's one of them things that like flat earthers talk about all the time is the ice wall. Flat earth and the ice wall. Like, I think that's total horseshit.
I think it's horse shit.
We got a flat earther in the house, and she's not here to back up her rationale. But I don't agree with that, man.
So in the 1817, when they first went to Florida, the land of flowers, they so it wasn't shaped like it is now. They're like, see, Florida was bigger. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
You telling me that they didn't know about Florida until 1817?
I don't know. It was
There's
like
no
some
way.
kind of crap. It's like, yeah, we thought that the Earth was flat until I don't know.
Well, they try to push the whole Christopher Columbus shit on you,
And
like
the
saying like
Christopher
people,
was like the last person to ever fucking arrive on America. He went to India first.
did he?
I
Yeah.
think so. He was trying to get
I
I
India.
thought they were trying to look for a
I think
shortcut
he-
to India.
Yeah, and he ended up in the Bahamas and called them Indians, and then they took like 7 more months and then found I don't know, America or some kind of crap.
And that was funded by the Spanish. And then what
That
happened?
was the
after,
Queen. The
Yeah, then-
Queen of Spain
then
funded
what,
that.
Then what happened after that?
They brought home,
They sent all the conquistadors over here and just like
and they came home. What's the sex disease that makes your face rot off?
I don't know.
God dang.
It's a sex disease.
Yeah. Look up all the STDs, the ones that killed Europeans and killed.
Well, smallpox.
It's
they brought that
no,
over.
that's a.
I don't know.
Not STD.
I don't think it's an STD
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about.
They
It
brought
is
back a sexually transmitted disease
From
because
what?
the
From-
conquistadors were.
with the natives.
Yep.
I don't think
and brought it
I
back.
don't think the natives even had any diseases, man.
Yeah, they did. They were boning
we
like
died from
buffaloes
flu,
or
and that's
whatever.
it.
It's called
But
God
that's
dang it.
that's like
Y'all
in,
look it up.
That's
It's
like
the,
in
uh,
South America.
It's a disease that rots your face, sexual disease that rots your face, rots your skin. It's
Yeah, you're gonna have to back that one up for us.
syphilis.
Syphilis.
And then they came over here. They already had a European version of syphilis. They came over here and then brought back the native, whatever genetic it turned into, and went back and it killed everybody. Who's the big gangster that died of syphilis? Jimmy Hoffa or something?
No, Jimmy Hoffa was like mysteriously like vanished.
Who's
and
another Gambino fucking family? I don't know. It's syphilis. Syphilis is bad. You
Yeah.
get syphilis. There's no cure for syphilis. You
But
can
you're,
get
you're
HIV.
trying to
and
tell
never
me
better.
that you're trying to tell me that like syphilis kind of originated from Native Americans.
And they had a strain of it in Europe before they brought it over here, but it mixed in with their strain of buffalo gum juice or whatever, and then they brought it back over to Europe, and it killed thousands and thousands and thousands.
I kind of think odds are that none of the natives, whether it's North America or South America, were carrying too many diseases. I think when foreigners came over to all these lands, that
well,
they're
that's
the ones that brought
Cabeza
it.
de Baca. He probably brought over some crap.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Well, most of the I don't know if it's all the Aztec, Inca, or Maya. Like a lot of them, like they say, a lot of them were just decimated by disease.
It was
brought-
disease.
It was brought upon by
Bacteria.
by the Europeans.
Yeah, because it was so populated over there. We had so many bacteria and diseases over there. They come over here, and these guys are just living off the earth and being just fruitful and just fresh.
Well,
They
yeah,
were so fresh over here.
their immune systems were not accustomed to anything
Yeah,
like
they
that.
had dirt and they had mosquito bites.
Yeah, well, how could they? You know how bad mosquitoes are in some of those places. How do they deal? I don't understand how they deal with those and
Bear
didn't get
grease.
disease.
They used to take the fat off of bears and rub their bodies in bear oils and bear fat, and it would keep the mosquitoes off of them.
It's like a natural off.
Yeah.
As well as the
Yeah.
moose and any sort of other.
Well, I'm sure they had
Those
ways
fatty
they had
acids.
ways to combat it. They had to.
Yeah. They're like, they can't penetrate this bear grease.
Yeah, you ever watch like like Naked and Afraid or any of them shows when any of them go to tropical environments, like they are just like bombarded by mosquitoes. Like that's one of the worst parts about being on them shows is just the insects.
Do you have to, I'm sure you have to take like, what's the vaccine that you take when you go, malaria.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't take a vaccine. I don't care if they had a vaccine to keep me from becoming gay or something. I wouldn't take it.
You wouldn't?
Nah, I'd become gay before I take a vaccine.
That's where you went off the rails last week, talking about being gay.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Well, let's talk
It's good
about
to
the,
point
let's
out.
talk about the Marvel comics and Civil War. So, if we had a Civil War, which comic would you rather be? And then, if there wasn't a comic,
No,
that
we
was in
we
Marvel,
said
would
we
you be-
said what character was like the strongest like superhero.
that's DC Comics, and it'd be Superman.
I want to be the raccoon off the fucking.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can include Marvel. You can go DC. Like out of all of them, like which one of those is like the most powerful?
It'd
of
have
all?
to be Superman or Captain Marvel. I don't know. Iron Man's my favorite,
Yeah.
but I want to say that his battery's going to run out, and Superman's going to keep on trucking.
All right. What about if you're going to compare? Because Iron Man, in a way, is kind of like Batman. Like they both
Yes.
they're both rich, like savants that have extreme technology. So I don't know if you had to choose between the two of those, which one is more powerful, Batman or Iron Man?
Yeah, because Superman's.
You know who's the most powerful? Wonder Woman, because she has got the goods.
Wonder Woman's pretty bad.
She's pretty powerful.
But
she
she's
can
like
seduce
Wonder
them
Woman's
to do
kind of
anything.
like she's kind of like an alien. Like she kind of is an alien.
Well, she's from an island, an island of queens, and
Yeah, some like hidden island.
Yeah,
but
how
they
do they
have
get
like
there?
but they have like superpowers kind of. Yeah, they do. I mean, look at her. Like in the movie, she can run and jump like a crazy, and
Oh,
like
really?
she's super strong. Yeah.
I know she's the power of beauty.
Okay, she got way more than that. She got
Yeah.
that.
She's got those wrist bracelets that she can dodge bullets and like reflect bullets.
Yeah, that's not from being good looking.
What if we had a civil war, not in Texas? We'd wipe each other out if it was in Texas.
Well, Texas would not have a civil war within Texas.
No, but if we had a civil war, you brought up about Putin, like back in Texas, if we succeeded.
That's what Madison was talking about earlier, saying that there was rumors that Russia would back Texas in some form or fashion. Like,
Why us?
I don't know, because Texas is a big strategic asset. Like, and I mean,
Yeah,
look at what we
oil
going
and-
on. We got all that. We got all that. But then
Our
look at where,
infrastructure with the
yeah.
electricity, we have the whole infrastructure to sustain ourselves.
But Texas is unique in that way. It's also unique in that it is the main state that sits on the border. Not the only state. Obviously, we got Arizona. Does New Mexico sit on the
Yes.
border? And Arizona, New Mexico, and California, or the others. I think that's everybody that borders Mexico. But and they definitely have illegals coming through those other states, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think it's more heavily concentrated on Texas.
Yeah, I don't think our borders are as populated on the border. It's more desolate. I'm not sure.
Well, maybe that's why they choose these spots
and
to
the
bring
rivers,
over.
in the rivers, shallower, maybe.
Could be.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know there's a lot of illegals coming through Texas. Like that since Joe Biden took office, there has been like at least 8 million like kind of documented illegals that have come across, and that does not include
The
any of
undocumented.
or
that
the
skirted
getaways that
yeah.
they call. Like, I mean, it could easily be double that. So imagine that. Say it's double that, and say they brought in 16 million illegals like in the past 3.5, 4 years.
Well, did you hear about all the truckers going down there?
Yeah,
Just
what
like they
happened
did?
with that? What happened with the
They're
truck?
going right now. They're
It's
in,
in
the convoy.
progress?
Yes, it's in progress.
Okay.
They're making a wall out of their trucks.
Yeah.
Well, I saw them. They were coming from California, coming from Canada, like all over. So I hadn't seen nothing outside of that. I knew it was kind of getting going. That'll be interesting to see like how that kind of plays out. Because what happened? What happened when they did that in Canada? Like the
Oh
Canadian.
yeah, they got into their bank accounts.
Yeah, they
and
froze accounts.
yeah.
Like they didn't mess around, man.
You know, to be honest with you, the Latino society, love them to death, man. I culturally love them to death. Hard workers, smart, funny, family. I love all that. I love that. It's some of the biggest family cultures out there. I love that part. And that's, you know, my family's the means the most to me. It's coming over here illegally and putting a burden on the people that are actually. We're in a bind too. We're in a bind.
Yeah,
Just
our
Americans-
economy is a failing economy, so
We're
we're
in a bind.
dealing with that on our own.
Yes, it's like adopting a, you know, per household, per capita, like 3 people per your house. It's like, okay, now you got to feed them, and they're not bringing any money into the household.
But this is what the public needs to see. Like, we all understand like how bad this is, but the general public
I'd
is
say
not
50
ready for this.
50% of the public understands this.
They're getting
Yeah.
there.
Easily.
They're getting there.
Even
I'd
the
say
sanctuary
50%.
states are seeing it. They're like, we can't
50%
take it anymore.
Easily understands it. There's probably 20 more percent that's like, oh well, yeah, I guess I get it. And then there's 30% it's like, oh fuck, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, some of my
It's
best
that
buddies are
30% that
Hispanic,
fucks
and I love them to death. I love them to death. Love them to death. It's not about the color of your skin or you being Catholic or whatever, you know, is connotated under the Hispanic realm of whatever you know, the racist part of it's not racist. It's like you're putting a bind on us.
Yeah, I mean,
even the people who are here legally, they're putting a bind on them as
Yeah.
well. They can
well,
become
some of the
same
people
state.
that oppose illegal immigration the most are legal immigrants that have put in the
My
time and
grandparents
come
were
through.
immigrants.
Yeah, that's
I
what,
believe. Let's go. Let's do it right, though.
They're fucking angry as hell that they've got all these illegals coming
Yeah.
through because they put in the time and put in the effort, you know, that you got to
Yeah.
do. We can't just
Like my
stroll into
stepmom.
Russia or another country and go have paid Medicare.
We can't
and
even go to
vote.
Sweden. They'll go, nope. It's
Yeah.
like, I got a passport. You can, I need to go work. It's like, here's a 40-day visa.
They're
and
smart.
get the fuck out.
They're smart, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep having problems until and honestly, the problems will continue until everybody wakes up. Like, we're going to live the next, what is it? It's February right now. The 2024 election is at the beginning of November.
Okay.
So the next 8 to 9 months, to me, is going to be
Pivotal.
like the most pivotal time that we've
All right.
ever seen. And it's just going to snowball. Like, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. But I still believe that it's going to be bad because
I like the awakening part.
that's
of
all.
your-
That's all it is.
Yeah.
People need to see this
Yeah.
to be woken up, man.
Yeah. I like the awakening part. And I don't like saying, it's not like that we're woke. It's like, wake up, guys. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, get out from under the spell
Yeah.
that the
it's like,
media
come
sold
on.
you and everybody else has sold
Let's say that people that do make good livings, okay, in people's eyes, it's like, oh, they're rich and they got a nice house and blah blah blah, and we're struggling. Even the mega rich, just say like, what's it called, middle class or the middle class.
you. Oh, the middle class is
Is
ones who suffer.
struggling like a mofo.
That's on purpose, man. They've purposefully depleted the middle class, and that's just by design.
And the middle class is because the middle class is like the mass majority of the taxpayers.
Yeah, that's what drives the country.
Yes, the rich are like this, and the poor are like this. Middle class is like this, and we pay the majority of the taxes. And you're putting a burden on the people that are paying the majority of the taxes, and then middle class ain't rich, and they're barely making it. It's like, hey, we got an extra $100. Let's buy a bigger house. You know, that's how we do. It's like keeping up with the Joneses and blah blah blah, and we all live way above our means. We do.
Well, you're kind of taught to. You're kind of
And
taught
you're
to
kinda
be
forced to
because what happens,
a
man?
little bit.
Then you end up in debt, and then you're a slave to the banks.
Yes, and then you know, it's like we don't shop at the local markets and like the local farm and whatever. You know,
Should.
we should.
We should, but
We
that
need to.
that is
convenience is
Yeah.
what keeps us broke.
right. But that's by design. That's by
Yes.
design. They don't want you at farmers markets and doing stuff like this on local levels. They want you built into their like mass population centers and
Yeah.
buying from their big time
Yeah.
stores and
And then what happens when they shut those guys down?
you have
Then
no
you're
choice.
screwed, bro. Then you're hauling ass Madison. What's that place in Alvin? Froberg's. Then everybody's going to Froberg's and eating strawberries.
Well, that's
You
why
can't sustain if
that-
you don't have an HEB or a Kroger. You can't sustain our society.
that's why you have to be prepared in some sense. Like,
Yeah.
to what are you going to do if say something breaks out, something crazy breaks
Yeah.
out, and we don't have access to the typical places
I
we
just
get
bought
food from?
potatoes. I'm planting potatoes at the end of February.
If you can grow potatoes, man, that'd be cool. I think,
Yeah.
but I don't know if potatoes grow really well here.
I don't know.
But
I wanna
try it, man. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that would be an ultimate survival food if you could grow it all the
Yeah.
time. I don't know if you can grow it year round or what.
I don't either.
That's what I'm saying. We bought food stores for enough to feed like 12 to 18 people for at least like 3 to 4 weeks, just in case.
Yeah.
Because what happens if something breaks out and then all you're doing is you're going to go through everything you got in your fridge real quick,
Oh,
the
yeah.
few things you got in your pantry, and then when you run out and this is still going on, you're going to end up in food lines just waiting for a little box of food.
Oh yeah. And who's supplying that?
The government.
Yeah. The government's trying to get rid of us.
Exactly.
The government. So Bill Gates says through vaccines and our medications, we can decrease the population down to what 500 million across
I
the
don't know
planet.
if he was saying that. That's like
He said it.
that's like what the Georgia Guidestones say.
He said it. You can
He
look
probably
it
he
up.
probably did.
Yeah,
He
you can look
probably
that
did.
shit up.
Yeah, they don't need. They call them. They call us like.
buying up all the property around.
Yeah, they call us useless.
Can't plan
eaters.
on this. Okay, let's say that civil war breaks out. You're older. I'm older. If they go right off the bat, it's like, okay, we got a draft. What job do you want to do? You go into what?
Like a military position?
Yeah.
I told you I would want to go military intelligence. But that's for my own selfish needs because I feel like that's where you learn the cool shit. That's where you get secrets, You know?
Ooh, classified.
Yeah, like Bill Cooper shit.
Oh, do you think they'd tell you that in a civil war?
No, but if you got into that and you were in intelligence for a while, you might come across some cool stuff.
I think at my age, I would try to be a medic or something. I don't think at my age I would want to go hand to hand combat with like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, you
War
might not.
here, I'm Frogman. War somewhere else, you ain't finding my ass. I ain't going.
Well, and like I told you, man,
Or a sniper.
We ain't going to war. Like they're gonna take us right to the brink of possible war, and then that's gonna be it. We're not going to war, and there's not gonna be a civil war. You're gonna have civil unrest in this country after the election.
Like Rodney King?
There's gonna be riots, big
Okay.
riots, and they're all gonna be. They're already organized already, and that's
Is
one of
that
the
why-
reasons they're bringing in all these illegals. They're
Is
gonna
that
use
why
these.
they have like bricks and stuff set up on street corners and
They used to
rocks,
do that all the
remember?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just really convenient that you got a riot forming. There happens to be Antifa there. Next thing you know, hey, there's a pallet of bricks that we brought in on a truck last night.
Yeah. How did that happen?
That's by design. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I am I know there's not going to be one. I know there's not.
but why do you believe there won't be one? With everything we got going on now, like everything's leading up. I mean, you're gonna see China invade Taiwan, and I can't tell you why or who's
Is
good. or not.
Taiwan armed?
I kind of feel like Taiwan is like Ukraine. I kind of feel like Taiwan is one of those like black sites like Ukraine that they use to funnel
Is
all
Sweden
kinds of
armed?
stuff. I don't know about Sweden.
No.
No, they don't have no guns.
You know why Sweden
They
doesn't
probably
get
don't.
invaded? Because that's where everybody hides their money.
Well, yeah, Sweden's a little different.
In Ukraine, I can't believe they got invaded because that's where all the American deep state hide their money.
Well, yeah, it's well known that Ukraine is like a
Dirty,
hotbed
dirty,
for money
yeah.
laundering, like bioweapon development.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think Putin invaded that country?
Because he knows
'Cause
it'll
that.
break the deep state. I think he's in cahoots with the good guys.
I kind of do too, man.
I do too. I can't argue about that.
That's unpopular
Right,
for
I will argue.
It's unpopular for I call them the normies,
Yeah.
just the regular everyday people, and that's a broad term for you hear it everywhere, but it's got to be true, man. It's got to be true. There's
It
got to
is.
be a group of world leaders working together to combat the deep state.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I think we're in a time that enough is enough. Enough is enough, guys. You can't have politicians that make $144,000 a year. They got 10 million, fucking $12 million in the bank. It's like, how? Dirty. It's dirty. It's like, oh well, my husband. Like, say if you're a female politician, it's like, oh, my husband's a great stock analyst or something.
Talk about Pelosi. Yeah.
Yeah, Pelosi.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, is she really out? Like she's
No,
gone?
she's still a
She MIA?
congresswoman.
Yeah,
No, she's just not
a-
the she's not the speaker, but
speaker.
she's still in Congress. I mean, yeah, who actually thinks that
Figured she'd
chick
be
actually
dead by
got
now.
elected like for 30 or 40 years? None of these people did, man. These elections, that's another thing, is that people don't want to believe that the elections are actually rigged. They're like, there's no way. They don't believe it.
Did you know that I believe that like local elections are good? Did you know like a Pearland election?
I don't.
The most. I looked at it the other day. Basically, it's 5,000 people in Pearland vote
Yeah.
out of 110,000 people.
I think it's more, it's like 200,000 these days.
Is it?
Yeah.
5,000 people vote.
Not
So
everybody
you
votes,
go look
man.
at the last election for mayor or in 2 seats in city council. Like it's less than 5,000, but only 5,000 people voted. It's like, what are you thinking?
Do you like? I remember like watching elections historically. Like I didn't pay close enough attention to it, but I always remember that these elections always would end up where the results are like 51 to 49%. They always end up being like these very close elections, and that's it's all part of their election rigging system that they have. Like they
On
want
a
to.
local level, do you think it's rigged?
I think in some places it is. Yeah, it depends on how important that county is or how important that position is
Like
to the
say
larger
Harris,
pictures.
like Houston,
Yes.
or Dallas. What's Dallas County?
Years.
Population of Pearland in 2021 was almost 126,000.
Okay.
That's 2021.
Is there
so-
a
That's
calculation
that's
of
the
how many
newest-
people voted in the last election?
That's the newest I can find.
Yeah, it's less than 5,000.
But that's even like the big your big presidential elections. You know, like what is there like 360 or 380 million people in the United States?
Yeah.
Like I mean, they don't all vote. Like
Hell no.
that's like I want to say Trump got like 80 million votes or something in the last election. So say, you know, I know Biden didn't really get that many. They claim he did, but that's still only, say he got exact the same amount. That's only 160 million out of 360.
What are
That's
the
not
rest
even
of the
half
people thinking?
They're not thinking. They're not paying attention. But I think that's what's going to be different in this next election. People are going to be shown things and experience things that forces them, and they say like, enough's enough. I'm actually going to get out and I'm going to vote because it matters.
Yeah, because a lot of people, I've heard this from family members, like, my vote don't count. I'm like, oh, are you out of your mind?
Well, but in one sense, they are correct. Your vote has not counted for decades. It didn't mean shit. It didn't count because their election system that they have is totally rigged. So your vote, every time we went out and voted, it didn't mean a damn thing.
I think it should be all mail-in voted.
Not why?
That's
I
a
say
joke.
you
That's
done
a
lost your
joke.
fucking mind, man.
That's a joke. You need to have voter ID. You need to have a facial thing. Even with the mail-in ballots or whatever, it's like face, bump, I'm alive, bump, no headstone, bump, I'm voting.
They'll just hack that shit and change your picture.
I think this next election, man, I don't know how it's going to go down, but I feel like we are going to end up voting on paper ballots. I don't know what's going to happen and how it's going to get it
We're
there.
doing it right now. We voted, last time I voted, it ended up being a paper ballot. You see how you voted,
And then
you
you
put
fed
it
it
in
into the machine. I'm not talking about feeding it into a machine that counts bullshit votes.
Checklist and drop the paper.
I'm
in
talking
there.
about
Fold
like
it
a
up.
paper ballot that's reviewed by like a couple different people and everything, and it's not fed into a machine. It's counted from the taking the physical ballot, looking at it, and then boom, that's one vote for this or one vote for that. Like it's not, the machines are one of the
Yeah,
ways that they
so-
manipulate the votes.
Here's another thing. So let's say that like presidential election, or let's say like electing like senators and blah blah blah. There might be 30 people on that ballot, and you know, they go like they say like New Hampshire or like say Indiana or something like that. It's like we had our votes in like in 12 hours. You got 30 people. So let's say that, and I agree. It's like, okay, this one got this one, and this one got this one, and this one got this one, and this one got this one. That would take days.
No, they did it.
If you don't do it electronically,
No.
it'd be days.
Nope. Historically, the country has used paper ballots, and they can process them really quickly. Like you're led to believe that we can't do that, but we can, and we've done it throughout history. Like once they transitioned us over to this new system with these voting machines and the counting machines, that's their system that they use to cheat. And then they, the shit
Because
where
they can hack into it.
the
It's
shit,
like,
yeah, they can hack into it. They can manipulate stuff. Or how many times have we seen where it's like, oh no, wait, it's election day and we should know the results, but no, I'm sorry, we need 3 more days to count the votes.
yeah.
That's all that is them blatantly cheating.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. The idea of having enough people to actually volunteer, in my mind, is like you need a shitload. Even like, well, in Pearland, say you have only 5,000 votes, so 5,000 times 10, that's 50,000.
I could count
marks.
5,000 votes in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
If I mean, maybe a day max by myself.
Yeah.
It can be done. Like I said, we've done it historically. They've just moved us away from those systems because they've moved us into the system
Because
that
they can plug in
they've
and say,
created.
okay,
Yeah.
all Republican, like straight Republican tickets, equates to straight Democratic.
Yeah, these people are not elected; they are selected,
Okay.
and that's it, man.
Here's another idea: is like the people that actually want to take those jobs or take those positions. Is like a normal person is like, I don't have to deal with that. But it's sometimes you have to stand up and go, I'm tired of this, and yes, I will take on this extra hardship of doing something extra in my life. Yeah, maybe my family will suffer, but I want to go do something good for the community.
Did we talk about last time? Did we talk about the whole Carrie
This is
Lake,
going to be
the
a
Carrie
good
Lake
Gary
thing?
Moore.
The Carrie Lake thing, with when Carrie Lake, who ran for governor in Arizona, how that it came out she had recorded that conversation. I think we talked
Yeah,
about it.
that somebody was trying to
Yeah, with the
pay her off.
state governor or the Republican rep or whatever from that state. Yeah. So I mean, and you see it
Don't
there,
run.
but you know how many times that happens all the time? It happens everywhere. Like, I mean, if you're in an important position of authority or power, you're going to be bribed one way or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, and most people, I think most of them just accept it. For whatever reason, whether they've got
Well,
some
that's
kind
the
of
dirty birds that actually, sometimes it's the dirty birds that want those positions because they want power or they want to have influence to where they can gain some kind of monetary supplement. Or it's like, okay, I can do this. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to allow your business in. Yeah, we're going to cut the taxes for you. It's like, what's here on the side for me?
Yeah, or you're actually a legitimate good person wanting to change things and run for office, and then boom, they pin something on you or they pull something out of your past and then come to you and say, look, we got this on you, and if you don't cooperate.
Oh, you had a podcast and you said the F word.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can run for politics, man.
I'm running for mayor as soon as the kids get out of high school.
You should, man. You were going to do it a couple years back, and you really didn't do it.
It's not that I know that much. It's like, I'm going to do what's good for the community.
Yeah, and that's probably why you...
And I don't need my pockets.
And in the system we live in, that's why you wouldn't get elected.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want somebody out there doing good for the people. They want somebody who will cooperate and do what they're told to do.
Yeah. And it's not that I want to be mayor. It's like,
No, you just feel like that's a position that if you were able to get into, that you could do some good.
Yeah. If I had to be the, because the mayor in our town is like if there's like I think there's 7 people on city council, and if one's not there and you got 3-3 vote, you're the vote breaker or you're the tiebreaker. Yeah, we have 7 people on our city council, so yeah, it's like I would go, okay, I understand this. It's like, oh, we're gonna bring $1 billion into our community, and what is that going to do for our community, and or what are we gonna have to give up? Are we gonna have somebody having, some kind of polluting business over here? It's like, no, we ain't gonna have that in Pearland.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why like more people like, and it's hard to say because I don't do it myself, but more people should become involved in local level politics.
Yes.
Like if you
yes.
really you're a good-hearted person and you want to do good, then get
Yeah.
involved. Like,
Yeah.
but it's easier said than done. A lot of people don't want to stick their necks out and get involved in
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Well, we know people that have stuck their necks out, and then there's been a lot of backlash or dirty throwing dirt throwing.
Yeah.
How do you call it?
Throwing mud,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you're like, okay, I don't want my family involved in that. That's why I just said that once my kids get out of high school, they're off in college or whatever. It's like, come on.
And I'll be honest with you, man. Like we got this event coming up that we do every year, the Burger Cook-Off.
Yeah.
We got like local politicians and judges and stuff that come in. I don't talk to them enough to know that they're good people or they're not.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, they all just rub me the wrong way. Almost every single one of them. And I think it's just because I got a bad taste in my mouth of just politicians in general. And I don't know, man. Something just gets me with all of them. I don't really come across anyone that I feel is great,
Yeah. Well, in general, people think that people are in politics for selfish reasons.
I think I'm kind of
that's-
jaded in that way.
Yeah, and then we know some politicians are in Congress that are not like that. We're personal friends with their kids.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the best people that I know that would make the best leaders are people who would never run for office.
Correct.
They don't want any part
Like I
of it.
said, the most of the time, the people that run for office want power and want to be what's it called? Have some kind of stature. It's like, oh, I'm this person. It's
Okay, like
what no.
you and I talked about before. Like one of the people that I wish would run for local office is my uncle. Like my uncle,
Bill?
Yeah, I mean, just a pillar of the, like very involved in the community because he's
Yeah.
been a local banker for a long time.
He's a Lions guy, isn't he?
Yeah, probably is involved in all that too. But like, he's the perfect example of somebody that you would want to be in charge, but he would have no ambitions whatsoever of doing
It's
that.
not an
That's why I almost
ambitious-
feel like, man, to be like put in a position of power in local government, instead of choosing to run, I feel like you should be nominated by others.
Ooh, that's good.
You know?
It's like take a poll. It's like, who do you know that would be good? Just making good decisions.
Right. It's not that's what, because I feel like most people that go into politics, they do it for more selfish reasons most
Sure,
times.
yes.
Well, yeah. What if you
Notoriety.
What if you made a system to where you had all the local citizens vote, anonymously or however you want to do it,
Yeah.
in some legitimate fashion, and you nominated someone who you felt would be a great
And whoever
leader.
got nominated had to do it.
Well, I mean, they didn't have to.
Well, it's
but-
like,
but-
shit, you got like 2,000 people who want you to fucking
right.
do this. It's
that
like,
that would motivate them to
it's
say,
like,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Too
guess
many
I need
times
to do
those
this.
positions are like they're made into just constant public speaking gigs and stuff that they're irrelevant. You don't need all this stuff. What you need
Yeah.
is somebody that's just behind the scenes, a little bit out in front of the public, but they're just out there doing good, because they've got a
Right.
good heart and a good conscience.
And so, who actually runs the city? The city managers.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
So yes, the city managers in the city managers run the day to day, and so they take care of the budgets. Like, yeah, we got a new parkway come through. Yeah, we need to make it beautiful. Yes, let's make our town beautiful. Yes, you have an old strip center. We need to you have to redo the front of it if you want to stay in business. Whoever owns the strip center or whatever, you're gonna make the town nice. You don't want a dumpy town. Pearland by far is not dumpy.
No,
It's not dumpy.
not all of it.
No. We have some spots. But the majority of Pearland, east side, west side, is not dumpy.
Everything has spots, though.
Yeah, everybody's
No
got-
matter where you go,
yeah.
anywhere in the world
Yeah.
has spots.
Yeah.
So I got an idea. I think that any of the people, the politicians that we have over here next weekend for the Burger Cook-Off,
Yep.
we should force them to watch this episode of the Bunny Tunnel.
Yeah.
Might not be a
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
thing. Like, you want to judge, you got to sit here for 30 minutes and listen to these assholes talk about you.
Yeah.
34.
34. Well, so we can say, all right, we got 35
We have
minutes
battery
that you
left?
got to deal with. I think we're about to die, man.
All right. Well, that's another good conversation.
Yeah, it was different.
29.1.
It was different than the last one. Like we've
It's
hit it.
political.
Man, we've hit health, history, politics.
Wow.
And Fred Durst.
And I did it all for you, and I did it all for them.
And for the Nookie.
And for